a story of a lovely teacher who was wishing for a TV production crew. All of them needed to be smart and motivated to broadcast weekly news. Here's a story of a group of students who were dreaming of a broadcast on their own. There were 10 students sitting in their classrooms, and they were all alone. Till one day when the teacher met these students, and they knew together they'd become a crew. That this crew would somehow form a family, and that's the way we became Cougar News. Cougar News. Cougar News. That's the way we became Cougar News.
Good morning, Affton, and welcome to this week's edition of Cougar News. It's November 7th, 2012. I'm Ramona Merjak.
And I'm Rafael Yusuf. If you haven't heard, the results are in.
The 2012 President of the United States is Barack Obama! Congrats to the President. You know, Rafael, I was really happy when the students got to vote this year in the library. I'm pretty sure our votes played a big role in the election.
Ramona? We weren't really voting.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, Lena did a story on it. Take it away, Lena.
On Monday, November 5th, Affton held their own in-school election. Students were able to cast their vote for president and senator in the library during their social studies class. I go to Affton staff for their perspective on in-school elections.
All right, I think the voting for here at Affton High School is very important for the students to get some practice in that regard, to see how it materializes and how important it is for each vote to be taken and counted for the future when they have the opportunities to vote as an adult.
I think it's important for students to vote, number one, so they can understand the issues that face our country, number two, so they can research the candidates and the way our political system works, most importantly, so that in a few years when they actually do have to vote, they are well informed about the issues.
Out of 656 students who voted, Barack Obama won with 460 votes and Claire McCaskill won with 478 votes. This is Lena Fountain with Cougar News.
I can't wait until I'm old enough to vote. Hey, what are you doing?
Nothing, just texting.
Oh, just make sure you don't text and drive.
Oh, no way, that's really dangerous. Hey, didn't you do a story on that?
Sure did.
Hey Affton, did you know that texting and driving is ranked the highest among teens? Drivers tend to have reduced reactions to spotlights, they have their eyes off the road, and don't always maintain a straight line. That one simple text can change your whole life. So pledge today to not text and drive at teensagainstdistracteddriving.com. For Cougar News, this is Rafael Yusuf.
No text is as important as your life. Trust me, Rafael, it can wait.
I totally agree, but I know one thing I can't wait for.
What?
Commercial break.
So, are you going out tonight? I can't. My parents say I have to be home right after work. That's so gay.
Totally gay.
Ugh, that is so Emma and Julia. Why are you saying that's so Emma and Julia? Well, you know when something is dumb or stupid, you say that's so Emma and Julia.
Who says that?
Everyone.
Imagine if who you are were used as an insult. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
What's wrong? I can't remember the theme from homecoming last year.
Well, you're wearing steps now. The yearbook staff works very hard to ensure every major high school memory is featured.
Awesome! But where can I buy a yearbook?
Miss Lawrence's room, in room 30.
Cool. I'll go make my purchase now.
I'm so excited.
For what?
It started.
What?
Teacher of the Week.
Oh yeah, let's go to Nate for more details.
Now it's time for Teacher of the Week. This week's winner is Mr. Walker. He teaches American literature and lit through film. He's the varsity football coach. I got a chance to sit down and ask him a little bit about his career. Here's what he said.
I came to teaching after graduating from college I had a degree in literature and writing. I had always wanted to become a reporter, so I found a reporting job for a small newspaper in Mountain Home, Arkansas. While I appreciated being able to write and get paid for it, I didn't really enjoy what I was doing. So I decided to kind of switch gears. One thing an English major always kind of has in the back of their head is that they could always teach. I gave it a shot. I substitute taught at some high schools close by. I really enjoyed being around the young people. One thing in particular was the optimism that was abundant in their lives. They had their whole lives out in front, set out in front of them, very optimistic about what they could do with their lives. I really enjoyed that, and then got into teaching and haven't looked back since. I enjoy doing it. One of the secrets of life is to figure out what you like doing in life and then doing it.
For Cougar News, this is Nathan Suntag.
Congratulations to Mr. Walker. He's an awesome teacher. Hey, what are you doing?
Well, if you really want to know, I'm looking for a job.
In the newspaper?
Yep.
Well, I actually did a story about who's hiring in St. Louis.
Wait, then what are we waiting for? Roll it.
Are you having trouble finding a job? Maybe you just don't know who's hiring. Well, I have some ideas for you. There's so many places that are hiring, like So apply today and maybe you'll find that job you've been searching for. For Cougar News, this is Rafael Yusuf.
Hey, have you noticed how cold it's been getting lately?
Yeah, I'm glad I wore a long sleeve t-shirt today.
Me too, but for all of you out there who aren't sure about what to wear this fall or winter, Madeline's got a story on it.
It's about that time when the leaves begin to change color and drift away from the trees. The temperature drops with a mild, cool breeze to follow. Fall and winter are on their way, whether you're ready or not. Do not fret, though. Here are a few words of advice from our head principal, Dr. Jackson.
I sat down with Dr. Jackson to hear her input on appropriate dress for cold weather. She strongly suggested no bare shoulders, midriff, or short shorts. It is okay to wear hoodies as long as the hood is not up for safety issues. Dr. Jackson pointed out that closed-toe shoes were a better idea with the cold weather approaching. She had mentioned that slippers were not recommended because they do not have a hard sole underneath. Blankets were a concern to her for safety reasons again. She concluded with letting us know they always keep extra clothes if you become cold.
In addition to her wonderful tips and advice, you can also invest in scarves, fuzzy socks, gloves, jackets, hoodies, sweatshirts, and sweatpants. These all apply to both guys and girls. Have a warm, safe winter and stay cozy, Affton. For Cougar News, this is Madeline Cochran.
Do you know what time it is?
I think it's time
for a quick commercial break.
Are you stressed out about the ACT? What about colleges? What about those college trips? Yeah, it's definitely a frustrating time, but you know what can make it easier? The College Counseling Center. There, they'll help you with everything, except your taxes. From signing up for the ACT, from scholarships to those college trips, the possibilities are endless here. So visit today.
Hey, have you been watching the news lately?
Yeah, I actually have. I just read a story about the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy.
Well, Mia did a story on it. Take it away, Mia.
Hurricane Sandy formed on October 22, 2012. It quickly turned into one of the largest, fiercest storms to menace the East Coast. According to ABC News, Hurricane Sandy spanned 1,000 miles across and brought with it winds up to 110 miles per hour and record-breaking waves. According to ABC News, on October 24th, Sandy became a hurricane and made landfall near Kingston, Jamaica. It later re-emerged in the Caribbean Sea and strengthened into a Category 2 hurricane. Sandy moved through the Bahamas and weakened into a tropical storm. It later re-strengthened into a Category 1 hurricane. Hurricane Sandy then moved ashore near Atlantic City, New Jersey. The results of Hurricane Sandy were devastating. Millions lost power and were stranded. Volunteers working with FEMA and the Red Cross struggled to free those who had been trapped by the water. According to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Hurricane Sandy has claimed over 170 lives and is estimated to cost $50 billion in damage. Efforts are being made to bring back power to those who have lost it, and food and shelter is being provided to those who have lost their home during Hurricane Sandy. If you would like to help the victims of Hurricane Sandy, please visit www.redcross.org or text Red Cross to 90999. For Cougar News, this is Amila Haseda.
Wow, I can only imagine what those people are going through right now.
Yeah, but it's great to hear that the East Coast is getting some help. If you would like to help the victims of Superstorm Sandy, you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS or text the word Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation today.
Hey, did you go to the Powder Puff game?
No, but I think Corey did a story on it.
Every year, Powder Puff recruits new cheerleaders and players. The game was cold and muddy, but the girls showed no mercy on the field. The game was reffed by Mr. Utoff and Mr. Hildebrand, while being announced by Mr. Bierman. During halftime, the boys showed off their dancing skills. But that's not all they did. The boys were used as a tactic to score for the sophomore-junior team. It was quite the sight. I talked with An to see how he enjoys cheerleading.
You gotta try it out. It's one in a lifetime experience.
One of the most anticipated moments of the night was to see who would win the game, and to see all the neat t-shirts. Each of the t-shirts had a nickname on the back that must be school appropriate and approved by Mrs. Loris. Mrs. Loris started Powder Puff 10 years ago and has been involved ever since. The goal of Powder Puff was to raise funding for color in the yearbook. I talked to Mrs. Loris to see if there had ever been a bad year of Powder Puff.
The only bad year was the year that we sold all the shirts and it rained 5 different times and we couldn't have our game. The best one that got delayed was when we went to the state finals in the Dome, and we had to have it on November 20th, I think it was. It was really cool. But it was fun because we were playing for state, the boys team was that year.
At the end of the night, it was the senior-sophomore team who had won. From the cool t-shirts to good memories, Powder Puff is never a boring event. For Cougar News, this is Corey Patterson.
Well, that's it for this week. Tune in next Wednesday for an all-new edition of Cougar News.
But for all of you out there experiencing sudden withdrawals or mood swings, like us on Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube page. Or just call your local physician.
Bye.
See ya.